And here we go. It's Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood time, as promised. Ryan and Justin here with Ash from Square Enix.
Hey, how you doing?
We're here to talk about a game that Ryan and I are both very passionate about, Final Fantasy XIV. New expansion drops on June 20th. You can play starting Friday
if you have
pre-order.
Yes, pre-order early access, 2 a.m.
So where do we begin? I believe we have some footage here, right?
Yeah, I think so.
We can start rolling that, yeah.
Yeah, let's hop on in. We're going to see a new boss battle. This is Susano.
Yes, one of the new primals for Stormblood.
I'm super excited. The primal fights are one of my favorite parts of Final Fantasy XIV because they feel like main attractions, you know?
They have some of the best some of the best mechanics you can actually do. And there's actually a really cool moment in this boss fight where sword comes down, you have to go and everybody attack and DPS the sword.
Oh, well, don't spoil it.
Well, you know, it's for the people here. And if
the full breakdown of the fight.
If you have a chance to beat them, we're actually giving out T-shirts, so I'll make sure to give you guys some.
Oh yeah, yes please.
So nice.
Yeah, I would say that we're doing the fight ourselves here. Let's pretend this is us playing here. So let's see. So I mean, I guess an obvious part to start with is the job gauge system, which is new to Stormblood. Kind of a way to make things more visual rather than just staring at numbers all the time. Can you give us a rundown of how all that works?
Yeah, I mean, basically we have this new job gauges that allow you to kind of give you a better indication of what special action or timing that your specific job can actually do. So I play a black mage. I'm level 60 black mage.
Me too.
There you go.
Right on.
Nice. So
job brothers over here.
Anakin up is completely different now because you have these visual indications about making sure you're hitting your timing correctly. But to be fair, Anakin works a little different now in Stormblood, but it's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I believe the team has been going to great lengths to try and make the experience more streamlined without sacrificing too much of the complexity that makes it fun. Getting rid of more of the tedium, I think, of like keeping up certain things like the way Enochian worked, like we were talking about before.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of the battle system changes are meant specifically for that, to really take some of the complexity out of it and just make it a lot easier and more fun to get it engaged in battle. And I think, with that and the new job roles, shared job roles across some of the tank, the DPS, everything like that.
So yeah, we're already seeing some pretty interesting mechanics here. We saw that giant AoE with a single safe line down the middle, but there was also a stack marker, so people have to all get in that one exact spot. What other kinds of cool, fun things are the team toying
God.
with?
Well, like I said earlier, I play a black mage, level 60 black mage. One of the coolest things that I'm excited about is the new ability to teleport from ley lines.
Back to your ley lines,
So, man, you have every single time you're waiting, and you constantly lose track of the ley lines because you're constantly moving back and forth. To me, that's going to be the most exciting thing personally. But
well, now Black Mage can basically just keep 100% uptime because you can teleport to another party member, teleport back to your ley lines. We're getting real nerdy right now.
Look at this. Look at these visuals, though.
You like it?
Yeah, applause to the Square Enix team for how good this game looks.
Yoshida-san and the development team do such an incredible job here. And one thing I'll say is that with Final Fantasy XIV Online, it's a celebration of the entire franchise, right?
Whoa!
Oh, look, did you see this?
Yeah. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier. I don't want to spoil some things.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, what's going on?
So the warrior is mashing the action button there to try and fend him off. That looks
we're
so
showing off a
cool.
lot of this here.
Dude, and another thing that I really want to talk about is something that we had the great pleasure to talk to Yoshida-san about recently when we were in San Francisco, which is him wanting to bridge that gap between veteran players that have been here since the beginning and then also newcomers who are like, oh, hey, this game looks awesome. I want to get into it. But there is so much content, and it's such a far distance between me and them. And Yoshida-san really wants to bring that gap closer together, right?
He is. I mean, there's a couple of things that are being done with Stormblood. At the launch of Stormblood, we're offering the ability to purchase a couple items. One is the ability to skip the story from A Realm Reborn or A Realm Reborn and Heaven's Sword.
Not that you should.
I don't actually think you should at all.
But you can. That's the key. You don't have to, but you can.
But you also have the ability then to purchase one of the level up for your jobs as well, up to level 60. I completely agree with what you guys are saying. To me, if you think about Final Fantasy XIV Online as, like I was saying earlier, kind of like a celebration of the franchise, the mainline story quest is something that is just as engaging as any other mainline story for a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, dude.
And then you're adding all of the elements of being an MMO around it, with housing, with being able to have and customize your own airship, dungeon raids, and the quality of life, stuff that goes with queuing for those things. It's just MMO life, basically, PvP. And combining that with this epic mainline story quest in Final Fantasy IV, that any Final Fantasy has, and you guys saw with the art and the music. It really brings together two genres, a JRPG and MMORPG genres.
Yeah. Well, it's important to note that if you do decide to skip the Realm Reborn and Heaven's Word story, all those cutscenes are still available for you to go watch. So you can still catch up on the story that way.
Go to the end, go watch the Unending Journey. You can watch everything on there and catch up. I really suggest not doing it. Like,
yeah, I mean,
because honestly, the story is so good.
It really is. It really is. And all the fights are amazing. You're going to miss out on all those great primals and everything. Yeah.
You're like, look, we have these items, but I really want you to play the game. And that, speaking of playing games, Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood.
Okay.
There's a lot more than just job gauges, primals. You also have swimming and diving, which I didn't even get to.
We haven't even talked about the big thing. Like, you have two new jobs, right?
Of course.
Red Mage and Samurai. These are fan favorites of the franchise. So
yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people gravitating to both.
Ever since Heaven's Word was announced, people were asking for Samurai and
Red Mage, yeah. But tell us a little bit. I mean, I know you can't spoil a lot.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about the swimming and diving, though, and like kind of what that adds to the mix. There's a lot there.
It adds a lot of element of just creating an ambiance and travel to certain areas that you're supposed to be.
Certain areas. You're being so careful. I appreciate it.
There is no. I'm going to be very clear. There's no battling in underwater, but you're traversing through an area that can kind of create new motifs, new things that are more exciting for players that necessarily they didn't have the ability to do before. Again, I got to be really careful here, but you've seen some footage in the past in the media tour that kind of hints towards some of the things like that, like dungeons or raids that could have that mechanic of swimming and diving in there.
Okay, I get what you mean. Basically, you're saying that I could go diving and just chill at the bottom of the sea.
Sure.
There's actually a new emote where you just kind of like lay back in the water and just chill.
Let's talk about emotes for a second.
Yeah, let's get
more of them.
Oh, no.
Ash, I want all the emotes. You just got to give me all of them all the time.
We'll try to get as many of them as we can. Yeah.
So Ash, Red Mage or Samurai first? What are you going to roll?
I'm actually going to stick with my Black Mage for a little bit.
Yeah?
Honestly, I actually might switch to a Bard.
Damn.
I've been hearing so much, because the job changes to the Bard makes it so mobile. I love mobile DPS, so I'm thinking about switching over to the Bard. But if I were to choose between those two, it'd probably be Red Mage, because the hybrid nature of melee and DPS from afar, I think it's something I want to see how it's done in game pretty well. I've never seen it done before in 14 Online, so I'd love to see what it's like.
Cool.
Yeah.
So one other thing, this is, again, maybe getting a little nerdy, but I have
a little nerdy.
I have all my gathering and crafting jobs at max level. In-game gear, all that stuff.
Yep.
Is there? Do you know of any changes that you're able to talk about coming to the crafting and gathering system?
I can't go into specifics, but there are new crafting spells, everything for all of the different ones that you leveled up to level 60. So you'll have plenty of time for that. One of the things that I've heard that everybody's asking about, there is new furniture, there's going to be new things, there's going to be two new residential areas as well, obviously.
Shirogane.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about moving my house there.
We haven't even talked about the most important part, in my opinion, is the story. I mean, going from, you came to that Alamigo for so long, and to be able to liberate Alamigo, and now also going to Othard, and you met Yugiri, you met Guset, you hopefully met Gusetsu in 3.55, 3.56.
Who?
What? And the lady in red, whose name I will not say.
Well, it's this. I'm just
So, I mean, you're able to actually kind of take this next step in the story that we've been building towards with a previous expansion and the base game that is going to take some really cool turns. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. It feels like they've been kind of building up to this throughout the entire Heaven's Word story. They had Yugiri come in, and then it was like, oh yeah, I'm from Doma. By the way, Doma. Like, this is a place, like kind of planting that seed. Like, oh yeah, by the way, we're going there now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they were talking about Alamigo even back in the day. The very first time you went to...
There's even like little Alamigo, yeah.
So let me ask you a very important question.
Okay.
Stormblood is out in this hypothetical situation, all right? Stormblood's out. You're sitting at home. You're ready to play. What's literally the first thing you do when you start it up?
Me, specifically? Change all my UI to the...
yes, that's what I would do, too!
I can just all the new job spells and actions, because there's a lot of changes to the battle system, obviously, with Stormblood coming out. And we talked about earlier, it is to streamline it, but it's going to allow for some change in the transition period for people to kind of get used to things, but it'll be much better for them when they actually start playing.
Well, yeah, and it's going to... Yoshida-san, at the event we were at a few weeks ago, he made a big deal about talking about how it's going to make things a lot easier for controller players.
Definitely.
Because things like if you get Stone 1 and then that upgrades to Stone 2 and Stone 3, you don't have to keep on putting that spell in different slots. It'll just automatically upgrade itself.
Yeah, a lot of smart, intelligent changes like that.
Also
and, PlayStation Nation, just for your controller players.
Yeah.
It's going to be great for you guys. And Yoshida-san plays the game on a controller himself, and every raid, every dungeon, does all those things with a controller.
I gotta say, if it wasn't for how great the controller support is in the game, I probably wouldn't be playing it because I always found MMOs to be kind of impenetrable because I'm used to playing on a controller and I don't really play games on keyboard and mouse. So that's what got me to try it in the first place, is the fact that I heard the controller support was good.
You guys heard that. You should listen to him.
I don't know. I think that's it. I just want to take a quick opportunity. Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay.
So what are we doing here?
Give me my platform for a second. This is all for you guys.
Okay.
I want to say, anyone that has not played Final Fantasy XIV, even if you're not a huge MMO person, I so strongly recommend you check it out. Because both Justin and I aren't really like hardcore MMO players, right?
I wasn't.
Yeah. Now you are. But it's like, this is the kind of game that, as you said, it celebrates the series.
Yeah.
It's intelligently designed, like to a T. It doesn't waste your time.
Yeah.
One character you make, you can play pretty much everything in the game and experience all of that. You never have to go back and do something over again. So that's why I feel like it's really important. Like, they designed a game that respects you as a player, respects your time, and also respects the source material that the game is based on.
It's a love letter to Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy
100%.
fans. So if you have any love for Final Fantasy for the series, you really owe it to yourself to check out Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say is we've offered many ways for players that are new to join. Where we have a starter edition, which is a STRR. We have the complete edition if you want to get everything in one package. But we also have a free trial that we recently removed the 14-day limit from. So you can even try that out and take a trial up to level 35 too. So.
Nice.
Okay, well then you literally have no excuse, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta just get into
the last
that.
thing I want to touch on, just like, dude, how amazing is the music in Stormblood?
If you love Final Fantasy theming and music, Soken-san does an incredible job.
Oh my God.
It's amazing. It's a privilege just to be able to
soundtrack win. Give me.
I can't say anything. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did you guys check out the trailer that had the new original track?
Yeah.
No, you want to know why?
Why?
Because I'm so old, so I have to just experience it for the first time in the game.
Okay.
I can't spoil myself.
Yeah, we started watching that new trailer.
There was a lot of,
At a certain
I was
point,
like,
some of it might be deceiving. I don't know. I don't even know personally.
Okay,
Honestly.
okay.
I hope so. But yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff in there.
I bounced like halfway. I was like, you know what, Justin? This is all you, man. I can't watch this. Justin, that's all I got, man. We should give a quick shout out to Yoshida-san and his team, though, watching, right?
Yes, thank you, Yoshida-san, the development team, for everything you guys do, everybody back at Square Enix. I hope everybody in the community is ready for Stormblood's release. To be very honest, we love the community. The best word of mouth to getting, the best way of getting the game out to everybody else is word of mouth through the community. So Reddit community, Lodestone, NeoGaf, everywhere. We love you guys. So thank you so much.
Awesome.
Cool.
Perfect rapper.
So that's Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. It's coming out June 20th, but you can start playing it early starting on this Friday, if you pre-order it. So go check that out. Again, obviously, Ryan and I are big fans, so we're going to recommend that.
Are we?
But yeah, that's about it for today's show. I think we're going to get everyone back out here to talk about, some of the highlights for today. So please stay tuned for that. We'll see you soon.
Take care.
PlayStation